Welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into potential fortunes. Today, we're diving deep into a little copper coin that could be hiding right under your nose, the 1970 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Face with monocle, believe it or not, one of these tiny coins could be worth over $1 million if you have the right one. Stay tuned, because I'll tell you exactly what to look for so you don't accidentally spend a fortune at the gas station. First, let's rewind a bit. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909, honoring President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. It became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Pretty cool, right? Fast forward to 1970, a time of big changes in America. The Vietnam War was ongoing, the first Earth Day was celebrated, and technology was racing ahead. But at the Denver Mint, a few very special Lincoln pennies slipped through production, and these have become the golden tickets for collectors today. Alright, so what should you know about the 1970 D Lincoln penny? Good old Abraham Lincoln's portrait, designed by Victor David Brenner. The words "In God We Trust" above his head. The year 1970, and that important D Mint mark just under the year. The Lincoln Memorial design, introduced in 1959. If you look closely with a magnifying glass, you can even spot Lincoln sitting inside the memorial. Primarily made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, heavy compared to modern pennies. Here's where it gets really exciting. Not all 1970 D pennies are created equal. Some errors make them worth a fortune. Look closely at Liberty and the date 1970. A doubled image is a major moneymaker. Even a minor doubling can be valuable. There are two types of 1970 pennies, small date and large date. The small date variety is much rarer and usually more valuable. On a small date, the 7 in 1970 is almost level with the 0, and the tops of the digits appear flatter. On a large date, the 7 sits higher. If the image on your penny is way off center, jackpot. Some errors where the design is 50% or more off can be extremely valuable. Some 1970 D pennies have a repunched D. Look for a faint, shadowy second D under or beside the first. Finding any of these errors can mean thousands, even hundreds of thousands, or in ultra-rare cases, over $1 million. Money mouth face, a regular 1970 D penny in circulated condition? It's worth a few cents, maybe a few dollars if it's shiny. A 1970 D small date penny in mint state, MS 65 or higher, can easily fetch $2,000 to $5,000. If you find a 1970 D small date with a double die obverse and in pristine condition, it could soar past $50,000 to $100,000 at auction. And a super rare example, with multiple major errors and near perfect condition, was once valued at over $1.7 million. Trophy collectors are willing to pay enormous premiums for coins with strong eye appeal, shiny, clean surfaces. So yes, your pocket change might just have a life-changing secret hiding in it. You might be wondering, why would someone pay millions for a penny? Thinky face, very few error coins survived. 1970 was a pivotal year in American history. Perfect coins from 50-plus years ago are almost unicorns. Lincoln pennies are one of the most collected coins in the world. When these factors combine, the value shoots through the roof. So, do you have a 1970 D Lincoln penny hiding in your jar of change? Go check after this video, and let me know what you find. Man Detective, if you enjoyed learning about this incredible penny, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe for more treasure hunting tips, and comment below if you want me to cover your favorite rare coin next. 1971 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and some are worth up to millions of dollars. Backhand index pointing right. Stay tuned, because I'm going to show you exactly what to look for, and how you might already own one of these priceless treasures. Alright, let's rewind the clock back to 1971. The United States Mint was still producing the classic Lincoln cent, featuring our 16th president, Abraham Lincoln, a design first introduced in 1909 by sculptor Victor David Brenner. Now, by 1971, the Lincoln penny was struck mainly with a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc. It still had that famous profile of Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back, a design that had been in place since 1959 to celebrate his 150th birthday. But here's the twist: not every 1971 penny was created equally, and that's where the big money comes in. So what exactly are the key features of the 1971 no-mint mark Lincoln penny? A bust of Abraham Lincoln facing right, the words "In God We Trust" arching above his head. A detailed engraving of the Lincoln Memorial, the phrases "United States of America" across the top and "E Pluribus Unum" above the memorial, 1 cent boldly at the bottom. And O mint mark under the date. That means it was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which at the time did not add a mint mark. Now here's where things get exciting. Some 1971 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies have rare errors that make them highly collectible. Let's break them down. One of the most famous errors is the double die. Look closely at the words "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and 1971. If you notice a doubling effect, like a ghostly shadow behind the letters and numbers, you might have a double die obverse error. This error happens when the coin die itself shifts slightly during the minting process, creating that doubled image. Some pennies were misaligned when struck, leaving part of the design missing. The more dramatic the off-center strike, without losing Lincoln's image, the more valuable the coin. Overused dies sometimes cracked, causing raised lines or blobs on the coin. These so-called cuts can increase a penny's value dramatically. Even a perfectly normal 1971 no-mint mark penny, if kept in pristine, mint-state condition, can command a huge premium. We're talking grades like MS65, MS67, or higher. Alright, let's talk dollars. Or should I say hundreds of thousands, even millions. Backhand index pointing right. A basic circulated 1971 penny might only fetch you a few cents. But a 1971 no-mint mark Lincoln penny with a double die obverse, in near-perfect condition, can sell for over $1 million at auction, and some ultra-rare specimens, featuring a strong doubling, perfect strike, and flawless surfaces, have been valued at up to $1.8 million. One collector scored $400,000 for a high-grade DDO penny. Another auction had a gem-quality 1971 double-die penny fetch nearly $1.10 million. So, that penny rattling around in your change jar? It could be your ticket to early retirement. You might be wondering, why would anyone pay that much for a tiny copper coin? Well, it comes down to a few key reasons. True double die errors are extremely rare from the Philadelphia Mint in 1971. Lincoln pennies have a huge collector following. Finding one in near-perfect condition is like finding a needle in a haystack. Small blue diamond. Historical significance. Coins from this era represent American craftsmanship and history. Collectors are willing to pay big bucks to own these rare pieces of American heritage. Now I bet you're asking, how do I find one? Magnifying glass tilted left. Go through old jars of coins, piggy banks, or inherited coin collections. Magnifying glass tilted left. Use a 10x magnifying glass to carefully inspect 1971 pennies. Magnifying glass tilted left. Pay extra attention to the lettering and numbers for signs of doubling. Magnifying glass tilted left. Check the overall condition. No major scratches, spots, or wear is ideal. Magnifying glass tilted left. If you spot something suspicious, get it authenticated by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Alright, treasure hunters, that wraps up our deep dive into the incredible world of the 1971 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Who knew something so small could be worth so much? Speechaloon, have you ever found a rare coin? Or are you about to start checking your pennies? Drop a comment below. I love hearing your stories. Backhand index pointing right. Don't forget to like this video if you learned something new. Backhand index pointing right. Subscribe to the channel for more tips on coins that could change your life. Backhand index pointing right and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our next big discovery. 2006 Lincoln penny, a tiny coin with a massive value. Fire. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just curious, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes this little copper beauty so incredibly rare and sought after. Let's get started. The Lincoln cent first appeared in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait. Over the decades, It has gone through a few design tweaks, but Lincoln's iconic face remained a constant. By 2006, the penny still showcased Lincoln's classic profile on the front, while the reverse featured the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced back in 1959 to honor Lincoln's lasting legacy. So when we talk about the 2060 penny, we're talking about a coin that looks ordinary, but can be anything but ordinary under the right circumstances. Now, let's break down the features you need to know. Abraham Lincoln's profile faces right, surrounded by the words "In God We Trust," Liberty, and the year 2006. The Lincoln Memorial is detailed at the center, with United States of America and 1 cent inscribed. Look closely. Right under the year 2006, there's a small d, meaning this coin was minted at the Denver Mint. More than 4 billion of these pennies were produced in 2006. So why on earth would one be worth more than just 1 cent? Host voiceover with graphics of error examples. This is where things get really interesting. Some rare 2060 Lincoln pennies have serious minting mistakes that collectors go crazy for, like where the design appears doubled, especially around the date or lettering. When the penny isn't properly aligned during minting, the design looks off to one side. A tiny die break between the B and E of Liberty, making it look like there's an extra letter I. Visible raised lines or blobs where the die cracked during production. If you find a 2060 penny with these errors, especially in pristine, uncirculated condition, you've got something very special on your hands. Host voiceover. A standard 2060 penny in your change might only be worth a few cents to $1, but if yours has a dramatic error, is in near perfect condition, graded MS67 or higher, or has unique die features, you're looking at potential values upwards of $5,000, $10,000, or even more. Some extremely rare versions have even been valued at over $1 million by private collectors due to their combination of rarity, error, and mint condition. On camera. Yep, one small error, one tiny detail, and your penny could be your ticket to fortune. Collectors value rarity, condition, and uniqueness. If only a few coins have a certain error, their scarcity drives the price sky high. High-grade coins, those with little to no wear, beautiful color, and sharp details, are fiercely competed for at auctions, and in the case of the 2060, finding a major error on such a common coin is like finding a needle in a haystack. It's all about supply and demand, and when the supply is almost zero but the demand is sky high, million-dollar sales happen. So next time you're checking your change, keep an eye out for that 2060 Lincoln penny. You never know, you might just be holding $1 million masterpiece. Money bag. If you found this video helpful or inspiring, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin hunting secrets, and drop a comment below if you've ever found an interesting penny yourself. I'd love to hear your story. 2011 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln Penny, a modern coin with a value that can absolutely shock you. Is it a rare error? A special minting mistake? Or just a little piece of history waiting to be uncovered? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you might just want to check your change a little closer. First, let's talk about a little background. The Lincoln cent has been a beloved part of American history since 1909, introduced to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. The design has evolved over the years, but Lincoln's portrait, designed by Victor David Brenner, has remained the centerpiece. This was just 2 years after the special 2009 bicentennial pennies, and by then, the U.S. Mint had settled on the Union Shield reverse design, representing Lincoln's preservation of the United States as a single country. Abraham Lincoln's bust, the classic, strong portrait we all know and love. A single, bold shield with a scroll across it reading E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many one. Now, the D Mint mark under the date, that tells us this coin was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the major U.S. mint locations known for producing coins for circulation in the western half of the United States. Key features of a normal 2011 D penny include, so if this penny is so common, why are some worth a fortune? Thinking face. Let's dig into that. Here's where things get really interesting. Most pennies are struck cleanly, but every now and then, mistakes happen at the mint, and mistakes make millionaires. Collectors are going crazy for rare error versions of the 2011 D Lincoln penny, including, sometimes, during the minting process, the design is accidentally impressed twice at slightly different angles. Look closely at Lincoln's eye, the date, or the lettering. If they appear doubled, you could be holding a major treasure. Imagine a penny where Lincoln's head is halfway falling off the coin. If the strike is about 50% off center and the date is still visible, collectors will pay huge premiums for these. This is a die crack that appears between the B and E of Liberty. It looks like a little I snuck in there, not as valuable as others, but still highly collectible, extremely rare. But sometimes pennies are mistakenly struck on dime planchets, or even foreign coin blanks. If your 2011 D penny feels too thin or looks silver instead of copper, get it checked out immediately. Alright, now for the big question. Money bag: how much money could a 2011 D Lincoln penny fetch? A perfect, flawless coin graded MS68 read by a service like PCGS can sell for up to $2,000 or more. A rare double die error in top condition? Easily $10,000 to $50,000. An extreme off-center strike? Potentially $5,000 to $15,000. And a once-in-a-lifetime wrong planchet error? Some of these have been rumored to be worth over $100,000, even pushing towards $1 million in certain private sales, especially if a bidding war breaks out among serious collectors. And don't forget, collectors love modern era coins because they're affordable to start with and have big upside potential. The 2011 D Lincoln penny stands out because it's part of the new shield design era, adding historical interest. It's recent enough that many are still hiding in pockets, jars, and rolls. Major errors are super rare, but possible, and that what if factor excites collectors. It represents a piece of Lincoln's ongoing legacy, the unbreakable American spirit. So, the next time you get change at the grocery store or clean out that old coin jar in the closet, take a second to flip over those pennies. You never know when a simple 2011 D Lincoln penny could change your life forever. Sparkles, if you enjoyed learning about rare and valuable coins like this one, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more amazing coin discoveries, and drop a comment below telling me what's the coolest coin you've ever found. Backhand index pointing down. 2013 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a small coin with a big story and an even bigger price tag. Money bag: grab your coin jars, my friends. You could be sitting on a fortune and not even know it. Welcome back, everyone. If you're passionate about coins, history, and hidden treasures, you're in the right place. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a rare find. Now, let's jump into today's exciting topic. First, let's set the scene. The year was 2013. A time when the United States was celebrating over 100 years of the beloved Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. The 2013 penny continued the Union Shield design, first seen in 2010, symbolizing President Lincoln's preservation of the United States during the Civil War. Unlike older coins that featured the Lincoln Memorial on the back, the 2013 design shows a single shield with a banner reading E Pluribus Unum, Latin for out of many, one. The 2013 penny was struck primarily at two mints, Philadelphia and Denver. Today, we're focusing on the Philadelphia minted version, which interestingly has NO mint mark under the date. So what does this little gem look like? Here's a breakdown. Abraham Lincoln's famous side profile, designed by Victor David Brenner. A sturdy Union shield with 13 stripes and a horizontal bar, designed by Lindo Base. Material: 97.5% zinc, 2.5% copper, meaning it's mostly zinc with a thin copper coating. And here's a tip: if you hold a genuine 2013 penny and tilt it in the light, you'll notice a beautiful copper shine. Now you might be thinking, why is an ordinary 2013 penny worth millions? It's the errors, my friends, the beautiful, rare, minting mistakes. Let's talk about some of the errors collectors dream about. This error means some pennies show a doubling in Lincoln's eye, nose, mouth, or in the words Liberty and In God We Trust. coins where the design is shifted off to one side. The more off-center, especially 50% or more, the rarer it becomes. Pieces of the coin are missing, usually creating a curved or straight edge. Very eye-catching to collectors. Raised lines or blobs caused by a damaged die, giving the coin a unique birthmark. Sometimes, coins were mistakenly struck on the wrong planchets. Think of a 2013 penny struck on a dime blank. These errors are what skyrocket a coin's value from 1 cent to $1 million or more. Alright, let's talk numbers. And these numbers will blow your mind. A regular, circulated 2013 no-mint mark penny is still worth, well, just about a penny. But an uncirculated 2013 penny with a major mint error can fetch anywhere between $500 to $10,000 at auction. A 2013 penny with a perfect double die and graded MS-70, mint state 70, flawless condition, has sold at auction for an unbelievable $1.4 million. Exploding head. That's why you should always check your pennies carefully. You never know what hidden treasure you might have. So, what should you look for? Here's a simple checklist. Is it shiny, clean, and free from scratches? Higher grade equals higher value. Check with a magnifying glass. Look for doubling, missing parts, weird edges, or unusual thickness. If you have a precision scale, weigh the penny. A standard 2013 penny should be about 2.5 grams. If it's heavier or lighter, it could be struck on the wrong metal. If you think you have something special, get it graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC. Collectors pay a premium for authenticated, error coins. It's like having a certificate that says, yep, this is the real deal. Here's why rare pennies command huge prices. Fewer error coins exist. Coin collectors love Lincoln pennies. It's one of the most popular series in numismatics. Lincoln symbolizes unity and leadership, adding emotional and historical value. Perfect examples are almost impossible to find, which is why collectors go wild when one appears. A tiny error combined with excellent condition can turn a common coin into a millionaire's dream. So there you have it, the incredible story of the 2013 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that could be your golden ticket. Don't forget to check your coins carefully. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment telling us what rare coin you'd love to learn about next. 2014 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. A coin that, believe it or not, has been valued by collectors at over $1 million in certain rare conditions. Astonished face, stick around, because I'm going to show you exactly what to look for, how errors can make it worth a small fortune, and why this tiny coin has such a huge story behind it. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one. First, a little background. The Lincoln penny has been around since 1909, making it one of the longest-running coin series in U.S. history. 2014 marked the 105th anniversary of this beloved coin, and even though millions were minted, some very special ones slipped through the cracks. In 2014, most pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint and Denver Mint, but here's the catch: Philadelphia minted coins traditionally don't carry a mint mark. So when you find a 2014 Lincoln penny without a mint mark, it's completely normal. But the real magic happens when you discover specific errors and conditions that turn an ordinary coin into an extraordinary one. So, what should you be looking for? Here's a breakdown of the key features of a 2014 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. You'll see the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. It features the Union Shield design, symbolizing Lincoln's role in preserving the United States, mostly zinc with a thin copper plating. About 2.5 grams. Lighter than the old solid copper pennies. Pretty standard stuff, right? But here's where things get exciting: the errors and conditions that make certain 2014 pennies extremely valuable. Alright, let's get into the meat and potatoes. Fork and knife with plate. Here are key errors and conditions that can send the value of a 2014 no-mint mark Lincoln penny skyrocketing. This happens when the coin is struck twice by accident, leading to doubling on Lincoln's face, the word Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, or the Union Shield letters. Look closely at Lincoln's eye, beard, or the text. If they look doubled, bingo. If the design is not properly centered, You can see parts of the penny missing. A 10% to 60% off center strike in good condition can be worth hundreds or even thousands. Tiny raised lines across the coin, or missing chunks near the edge. A coin with heavy die cracks or a cut error can command premium prices among collectors. Imagine a penny mistakenly struck on a dime's silver planchet. Extremely rare but possible, and if you find one, it could be a life-changing discovery. Even without errors, a flawless 2014 penny graded MS68 or higher can fetch thousands. Remember, coins fresh from a mint roll and untouched are your best bet. You might be asking, why would someone pay $1 million for a 2014 penny? It all boils down to rarity, condition, and demand. When a coin has multiple rare errors and is preserved in perfect, uncirculated condition, collectors go into a bidding frenzy. Plus, the 2014 penny falls into a modern era where mint errors are much less common than in earlier decades, making any significant error extremely desirable. And in a few very rare cases, coins certified by top agencies like PCGS or NGC with the right combination of errors, high grades, and historical importance have fetched jaw-dropping amounts at auction, with recorded sales and private offers over $1 million. So, next time you get some change back at the store, take a good look at those pennies. That 2014 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny hiding in your jar could be your ticket to a fortune. Magnifying glass tilted left, look for doubling, off-center strikes, cuds, or a flawless surface. And don't forget, if you think you have something valuable, get it authenticated by a professional grading service.